the first thing you got to realize is recruiting is not just saying, okay, now we're hiring and expecting, your floodgates to open and your application flow to boom. Here's the thing I tell employers: take down your help wanted and now hiring signs. Take them down, because they're worthless. Everybody knows you're hiring. Everybody's hiring. No one's walking into your place of business and saying, are you kidding me? You mean I could actually go to work here and at the end of a week, you would give me a paycheck? Are you saying you might actually be hiring? Everybody is hiring. Please, dear God, don't rely on your help wanted signs to bring you in talent. And number two, stop thinking that it's just online job postings. Yes, those are important. Yeah, you should be on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, and there's a gazillion sites out there. It used to be Monster, was the Monster, or Craigslist. I don't care where you're recruiting. Yeah, do that, but please don't rely on that. Again, nobody's looking for a job that way, or most people aren't looking for a job that way. So what happens is it's kind of like there's so many employers that their recruiting is like my fishing, where I go get the cheapest fishing pole, with some salmon eggs, and just put the two together and hope maybe I get a fish on the end of my line. My wife says, you're not going fishing to catch fish. You're just going to get away from a Wi-Fi signal. I said, exactly. But you see, a lot of employers, that's the way they look for their people, Matt. They're fishing. And I tell them, you got to stop fishing and start hunting. And hunting is much more proactive. It's intentional. It's I'm going after people in this organization who I know have a fighting chance of success here. They're going to not only succeed for me because it's going to be a great match for them. The good news is that success leaves clues. You can find a lot about your future employees by researching the people who work for you now, the ones that have really panned out, the ones that have been there 10, 15, 20 years, right? Where did you find them? Where do they live? What do they do in their spare time? Where do they worship? What are their goals? Because if you go to those same areas, those hunting grounds, you can find people just like that.
Yeah. So it sounds like if you think about recruiting almost like how you would, again, just coming back to how you would sell a product or service, right? You find like, okay, these are our great customers, right? Like these are the ones where, they're just great to work with. We've got nice gross margins. We want as many of this type of customers we can find, right? So
my parents owned a printing shop. It was a small 2-color press. They had 4 employees. And my mom was really in charge. My dad was the graphic designer, but my mom was theoretically the rainmaker. And I remember asking her, because they ran into financial trouble. I said, do you have a client here that you just really love working with? At the time, she said, yeah, this budget rent-a-car place. They sell the rentals that are, that they've deemed out of service. She goes, they're great. And I go, what makes them great? And she goes, well, they order the same thing all the time. We don't have to do brand new artwork with them. They just call us and say, could you run more of these forms, or we need more business cards, put Joe Blow's name on it. Here we need, just a variety of stuff. They would just call and place the order because most of the work was already done. And she goes, then I get some reoccurring revenue. And I said, business is tough, right, Mom? Yeah, business is tough. I said, what's like budget? In other words, think like that. Rather than go out and work real hard to get that one person who's opening up a restaurant who may want a few menus and, a flyer or two, why don't you go after other clients that you figure are just like the ones you have? That's the same approach you should use in your recruiting, right? What are like the superstars? Where do I find people that are just like this? You have to have a tighter focus. It's easier to find people when you know exactly what you're looking for. So the word here is hunt. And of course, it's a metaphor. There's no guns implied here. But when we say hunt, it's proactive. You're not going to see a hunter go into the woods and go, I'm going to kill something today. I don't care if it's a bear, it's a deer, it's a raccoon or a crawdad. I'm going to shoot at anything that moves and bring it home. That's not. Hunters aren't like that. They're very intentional. In fact, most hunters know exactly what they're looking for. Even if they're looking for, deer or whatever, they want to just get a 12-point buck, or they just want this kind. So it's not, can I see anything and shoot at it? Same approach. Know what it is you're looking for. Be very intentional, and then start hunting. And I'll give you a few various hunting grounds, places that you need to hunt, and where to take that if you'd like, Matt.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that. What are really some good pipelines for talent?
Well, I'm a former high school and college business teacher and coach. So the students that were in my programs or in my courses, most of them had to have jobs to get full credit for the class. They'd get a credit for the class. They'd even get a credit for working. And so when they were younger, I might bring their parents in on the conversation because they had to work in some business related type topic. I was a business teacher. So go down to the mall, work in a grocery store. But my goal was to coordinate with the store's manager to make sure that the person, whoever it was getting a well-rounded experience. They weren't just stuck behind a cash register or stocking shelves, but they were learning various aspects of the business. But I was also there to find out, is this young employee, are they showing up every day? Are they dressed appropriately? Are they doing what you ask them to do? What is their performance like? Because you'd have to give them a letter grade based upon how they were doing. Well, that's vocational education. Now it's called career and tech education. Many, many high schools have career and tech ed programs that span a wide range of, career focuses, whether that's in business or whether that's, technology or, automotive or whatever the skill might be. So I always ask business owners, do you know, if you hire young people, and I'm a strong advocate that you should be bringing a lot of young people into your organization, because the only way to get, mature people is to start them young, get them start thinking down that career path. We do a terrible job in America of getting people in the right career path. So why not hire young? We're as apprentices or interns or however you want to call it, but start young. And so I ask them, do you know, the high schools that are near your operation? And I'd say the same thing. Do you know the community colleges, the technical colleges, et cetera, that are within, several miles of your business? Most of them will shake their head and go, yeah, they can name them off. And I go, then I ask the real important question, do you have a contact? Do you have a conduit in there? Whether that's a career counselor, career and ed teacher, somebody who can be that pipeline, that conduit. So as you're looking for people, you can contact this individual, because who knows better whether or not a student shows up every day, whether they're prepared, whether they, sit towards the front of the class and do their homework, et cetera, et cetera. So if you know those individuals, the first thing is do something for them. Don't come and ask before you give. How can you support the school? Whether that's through your time, judging contests, volunteering to come in and be a guest speaker, offering to have them tour your manufacturing plant or your facility. What can you do to be a resource for that school and for that program more specifically? How can you help them? Then you say, by the way, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to deliver pizzas or to work on my, to maintain my business after it closes or to whatever. When you have those relationships, you do develop a pipeline. So hunt schools, give you a couple more. Hunt friends. Most employers have some kind of an employee referral program. The problem is they ask all their employees to refer their friends. And you don't want friends of some of your employees, because obviously you've got people in your organization who are barely doing the job done. They're doing the minimum daily requirement. Why not just go after the superstars? People associate with people that are like them. So find your superstar employees and then really make it worth their time. Jake, you're here every single day. You show up on time. You work to the end of the day. You dress like a pro. The way you handle my customers, you're always dedicated. You're learning. I need to find another Jake. Tell you what, Jake, obviously you've got a buddy or two or some friends that could possibly work here that are like you. Now, if you bring me another Jake, look, I know you like the Dallas Cowboys and you've always wanted to go to a game. Tell you what, I'll send you and a buddy to one of those games. I'll get you good seats. And people say, well, that might be too much. I can't afford that. Or sending them to the, to the Taylor Swift concert or whatever. What's it going to cost you if Jake leaves? And then what's Jake worth to you? Make it worth their while. Do employee reviews, compliment people, and get those employees working for you to bring people. Hunt schools, hunt friends, hunt social media, which doesn't mean that you have to constantly be on social media. And it's certainly not just posting job ads on Facebook or LinkedIn. Again, it's really understanding how social media works. It's using the right hashtags to get to your market. Plus, go beyond that. Don't just use the hashtags and stuff. If you got somebody that really loves working for you in a position, go ask them, hey, Jessica, why do you love working here? She says, well, I just love the flexibility. You've always been, very honest with me. I enjoyed my work. The customers are great. Great. Jessica, give me your phone. Jessica hands you your phone. You turn around and you push video and you go, would you say that again? And you videotape Jessica saying, here's why I love working here. Hand her back her phone. Let's tell you what, Jessica, post that on your social media. Tag me and I'll make it worth your while. Well, I don't know, you send her to dinner or send her around the world. That's up to you. But what I say is, if I say it, the employer, it's just going to look like another promotional announcement. If Jessica posts this on her YouTube channel, on her Snapchat, on her TikTok, saying why she loves working there and tags you, now the people that look at Jessica are going to say, this is real. This is authentic. This is her saying, I love working here. It's not just posted to your website. It's posted on her social media. That's what you need to do.